Can we just talk about the forests in the opening scenes to The Shining? Like, that's tree porn. That is beautiful. Those shots, so good. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my first movie review for October. If you haven't heard, I'm going to be doing a lot of horror and thriller related movie reviews for the entirety of October leading up to Halloween. I really want to make a lot of movie reviews this month. It's something that I love and I'm really getting into horror and thriller movies, so I really want to zoom through and get lots out. I've got a few ready to go, and the first one up is The Shining. Alright, so The Shining is from 1980, so it's no new film. It's a Stanley Kubrick film based on a Stephen King book. Now I know it's like a classic, but I really only honestly watched it for the first time the other day. I bought it on Blu-ray recently. You would have seen that in my September favorites. But yeah, I'd never watched it before, so I thought I'd give it a go, and yeah, not what I thought it was going to be almost, but keep listening if you want to hear my thoughts. So yeah, like I said, the opening scene got me instantly. If you saw my old backdrop, I have trees in the bedroom that look like they're straight out of Twin Peaks. Forest scenes like that really get me. So I was into it from the get-go, but then as the credits progress, they're kind of really unnerving. How the credits are scrolling up and how the camera is moving around the hills and stuff. That was kind of unnerving, and that camera work definitely follows through the entire film and helps out a lot of the scenes, definitely. So like I said, the trees definitely had a Twin Peaks feel. And especially having like a secluded holiday hotel right up the top of a mountain, windy roads, not many people go there, especially at certain times of the year, so that was creepy. Basically, if you haven't watched it like me, it's about a family who recently have moved, and they are hired, well, Jack Nicholson's character is hired to be the caretaker of a hotel that was built in 1907. It's used for winter sports, and then from October through to May it's shut, so the caretaker is required to live in. So they move into the hotel and they find out that something bad happened, and then you can probably guess where the rest of the story is going, especially from any recurring motifs you would have seen, such as the twin girls in the blue dresses. And yeah, the story kind of unfolds from there. So like I said, this movie stars Jack Nicholson, and the woman who plays his wife has such an interesting face. Like, the characteristics to her face make her such a good casting choice for this, and I think if they had someone with more of a plain face, you wouldn't have believed her character as much. That really helped this, as well as the casting for the young boy. Like you probably hear in another review I'm going to do shortly, if the kid in a horror movie can get you hooked and really make you believe what's going on, then that is what can create a really good movie. Because I feel if the child actor can't believe what's going on, you're going to get lost. So beyond the credits, the creepy does start once they visit the hotel for the first time and they're being shown around, and one of the I think he's the head chef at the hotel, knows the boy's name, and starts saying like, "What's up, Doc?" And that's when the creepy starts, I feel, and definitely an insight into The Shining. And in terms of what The Shining is, I'm really not sure how that was kept a secret from me and never spoiled. Perhaps it's because I don't watch a lot of horror movies, nor have I shown much interest before. So maybe it was just something that I've never really encountered, nor has anyone ever felt the need to tell me. But yeah, I was interested to find out what The Shining was. Obviously that's a really interesting kind of supernatural kind of element to the movie as well. Something else that's interesting in this movie is the use of time cards to keep you tracking along how far you've been watching and how long it takes for Jack Nicholson's character to mentally deteriorate through the film. So this is a psychological horror, So if you're not invested in the characters, then you're not really going to care what else is going on. I was expecting a lot more kind of like jump scares or gore or something, not typical horror, but a lot more intense of what you actually see in the movie. So as I was watching it, I kind of not so much got bored, but the things I was expecting weren't happening, so I was kind of losing interest. Probably until halfway or so through the film, maybe a little bit more. So the movie is quite long, 2.5 hours, I think. So what I think makes this movie, while the story is creepy and not entirely like original, perhaps at the time, maybe it's just oversaturated by now, but is the use of sounds, not so much the music. But the music is creepy and you can hear a theremin as like another layer of the sound, and that's eerie. But for instance, when Danny, the young boy, is on his little plastic like bike and he's going through all the rooms, and he's moving over carpet to floorboards and carpet to floorboards, and just the sound of it being really smooth and then like bang and going over the cracks of the floorboards. That's really creepy. Really makes you feel like you're in the scene and you're following him around every corner to when he bumps into those murdered children. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. The music is very creepy, sometimes very loud and unnecessary, builds up for no reason. Obviously that's the point. But yeah, but when I was expecting things to happen and they didn't, I was kind of upset. Also, there's a maze in this movie, and if there's a maze in this movie, you know you're in for a bad time. Another sound that was creepy was listening to Jack Nicholson's character on the typewriter. He's supposed to be a writer in this movie, and listening to him just type away is also creepy. And when you find out what he's been typing, that's even worse. That's when the movie just goes downhill. Not in terms of quality, but everyone's mental stability. So I want to talk about the shots as well. Like I said, following Danny around every corner, and also like in the maze. It's kind of like a handheld version, so you're following really fast behind them through the maze and through the corridors and the rooms and everything. That's really unnerving, I find, in terms of like being used with the music and the sounds that are used. That's kind of like what makes this more creepy, is the cinematography opposed to really anything else. So like I said, I feel like this was a little bit slow, and the first hour and a bit was mainly character development. There is a lot of character development, not only for the three main characters, but a few of the others that are interacted with in the start of the movie when they first go to the hotel, but the remainder of the movie is just those three. So if you didn't have that character development in the first half, then being stuck with those three in the same couple of rooms would get old very quickly. So it's definitely more of a thinking movie, being a psychological film. It wasn't as violent as I thought it was going to be, and I'm not sure if I'm just confused. I did pay like a lot of attention to this movie while I was watching it, but the ending, when you find out why he's had deja vu of being at the hotel and stuff, yeah, so I just kind of felt like the ending was a little lackluster. But yeah, I don't know if I was confused or if I've just seen so many kind of twist endings like that now. I think perhaps because it is over 30 years old, it just didn't stand out as much as I thought it was going to be. I understand why it's a classic, and I really did enjoy it. I'll definitely watch it again. But I think perhaps it just doesn't hold up now. So it is a slow building film, but all the motifs, the creepy cinematography, the investment in the character, that all starts very early. Pretty much from the get-go, you know what's going to happen in terms of the story and who the characters are, why things are going to happen, especially when you have the really intimate kind of scene with the wife talking about the son's relationship with the father. So that all starts early. It builds slowly, but things like the kind of personality of the hotel keep you going until the story itself really does start. Jack Nicholson is such a babe, let's be honest. Even when he's creepy, that's cool. I didn't find him super creepy at all, but my mum has told me that his character in this movie still scares her now. I didn't really get that. If anything, I found the wife to be more of an interesting character than him. Even the boy and his imaginary friend, that's creepy. Like, that's the creepiest part of this movie, I think. I find it really hard to review movies that have such, like, critical acclaim and cult followings 36 years later. And I feel like my mind might have picked up things on the way, and expectations. Obviously, it's something I haven't wanted to watch really until recently. It is on Netflix, but I picked it up for just $13, so wasn't going to pass that up. So yeah, I don't know if it's because of the time it was made and how long I've put off watching it, if my expectations were different. I did thoroughly enjoy it. I would watch it again. I wish it was a bit shorter. But yeah, it was kind of a letdown for what I thought it was going to be. But the characters, the cinematography, definitely the location are things that I really enjoy. Even things like the carpet. Obviously that carpet pattern and colouring is kind of famous. And The Shining has made it known, like is known for that. But yeah, that's cool. Alright, so those are my thoughts on The Shining. This is my first kind of horror related movie review for October. If you have any ideas of other horror or thriller movies you want to see me review, please leave a comment down below. Please remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can keep watching movie reviews, unboxing videos and hauls, and I'll see you next time. Bye!